and the millions they speak for, but to stand with it, to defend the institutions that carry this work, the regional networks, the women's organizations on whom the daily safety of women and girls depend, to defend the civic space in which feminist activists, women, human rights defenders, and women and girls in all their diversity can speak, organize, and hold power accountable. To name climate injustice as a gendered crisis, and to make sure that the climate response is right-based, gender responsive, and led by the woman most affected. And to be honest about where my own country, like every country in this room, there is still a lot of work to be done. And I am heartened and encouraged by the presence of many political leaders here in Melbourne this week for and at the margins of the Women Deliver Conference. From the Pacific, we are also bringing something to this conference, not simply our presence, but offer the way we do things in the Pacific. In Tuvalu, we speak of our fear. Our fear means taking care of one another in our families and communities, and taking care of the land, the ocean, and the shared future. Our fear is not a sentimental language. It is a political principle. It is the basis of social stability, resilience, and survival. Because a society cannot be resilient unless it is built on care. Care is how dignity is protected. Care is how communities survive hardship. Care is how we honor future generations. In Pacific societies, we also know the meaning of Feleti, a Tuvalu cultural value of good neighborliness, caring relationship, mutual obligation, and trust. For those that may not know, Feleti is also the name accorded to the recent landmark treaty between Tuvalu and Australia, which constitutes a new foundation for Tuvalu-Australia future relations. A relationship that is not built through rivalry and competition, but through proximity, obligation, and trust. These are not Pacific concepts only. They are the same instincts that this movement has always carried. Solidarity, mutual aid, collective care, the simple insistence that no one should have to survive alone. Ladies and gentlemen, so this is the spirit in which we welcome all of you, not as observers, but as participants in the same fight. The next 4 days will not solve every difficulty, but they can do something more important. They can remind this movement of its strength when it gathers. They can remind every political leader watching that the global movement for the rights of women and girls is not retreating. It is gathering, it is strategizing, and it is preparing to shift power. That is what change calls us here to do. And in that work, the government of Tuvalu and Pacific countries and I personally stand with you, not as a courtesy, but as an ally. And on behalf of the Pacific, welcome to Women Deliver 2026. We are glad that you are able to be here, and let us begin. Tafta Lasi, and thank you.